Go back to your store, set the pace, set the standard, and just, man, show these people what you really wanted out of the leader and bring all the good stuff to them. Can you guys do that? So number one, we're the twins. Obviously, I'm a little bit more handsome. I'm definitely stronger than my brother. We could fight right here if you guys want us to. I'll prove it. I'm smarter, I can guarantee you that. The automotive industry changed our entire lives. Yep. We come from the inner city. My mom was in the military for 30 years, but I mean, she was handicapped in the military, almost lost her legs, broke her back. We didn't have a dad. We found the automotive industry and it just changed our lives. We wanted to be the ones for our family. We wanted to be the people that changed everything for our bloodline. We wanted to be the people that just found an opportunity and created it. And when we showed up to the automotive industry, that was it. I mean, we just needed one chance to make it out of where we came from. So the passion that we carry, we've never lost that edge. We've never lost it. Ever since we've been able to get this opportunity, we've carried that for years. He said, hey, you know, there's some accolades that I'm going to show you, but the accolades really don't matter. You know, we're beating the crap out of a lot of people in the franchise industry, number one and number two, for 8.5 years. But really the reason why is because when we got into this, guys, we knew that this was the one chance that we had to make money for our families, to become something for our families. So all we really cared to do was serve our customers at a high level. I remember I met a guy named Lamont. He was at a GMC store in Havana, remember him? Mm-hmm. And my mom bought her first real car. And what we learned through sales training was that this guy really truly outcarried everybody. Everybody say outcarry your competition. Outcarry your competition. Guys, this is a car dealer deal. Say, outcarry your competition. Outcarry your competition. All right, first guy, stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, stand up, everybody. We got to get a little bit more energy. I swear, I'm not going to make you take your shirts off. We're not going to make you take your shirts off. I know you've seen some reels. Everybody was joking around about that. I'm going to tell you about that. But just turn to your neighbor and say, level up. Say, level up. No, high five. Hey, high five your neighbor. Say, bring some energy, man. Come on. Say, bring some energy, man. Come on. Say, bring some energy. Come on, Carlos. Come on. All right, go shake somebody's hand that you haven't shook a hand yet. Shake a hand that you don't know. Just go, somebody shake a hand. What up, man? I'm Ian. Nice to meet you. Good to meet you. What up, man? I'm nice to meet you. I'm Ian. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you. You look amazing. You got an amazing smile. Okay. Good to see you, brother. All right, guys, sit down real quick. Sit down. Okay. All right. Listen, let me tell you guys this. Is sales good at having a good attitude? It's everything. Is sales having good energy? Yep. How many people walk around with this look on their face like you owe them something, or they have this arrogance in the car business even now, and they can't even walk up and say, hey, what's up, man? Hey, I'm Ian. Nice to meet you. Hey guys, it's the Macklin Twins. Thank you for watching. If you need anything at all, go ahead and reach out to us, 480-780-2203. Just send us a text with what you need and we got your back. And in the description, you have a free vault of personal development, sales training, and mindset training. You can join us. It's free mentorship. Click the link. Let's go. We'll see you on the other side. When we saw this guy, Lamont, sell my mom a car, this guy really truly cared. It wasn't just about selling her something. This guy was the most famous guy in our neighborhood, in our area. Everybody knew this guy. Why? Because he actually really cared to serve the customers at the absolute highest level. He rolled out a red carpet for him. I remember he took the car to my brother's basketball game. Yep. Or was it a football game? Yeah, well, first we weren't even closed on the deal. He showed up in the car. Brought the car straight to the game. Yes. And then got all of Evan's friends in the car and they drove it around and it wasn't even closed up. And then she's like, shoot, I guess I got to buy this thing now, yeah. Right? But how many people in this room did the automotive industry change your life? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, so a lot of people, it is the actual thing that changed our life, but what's happened in the automotive industry over the last 3 years? People have gotten soft. What's happened, guys? People have gotten weak, comfortable. What's happened? Anybody? What's happened over the last 3 years? Comfortable. 4 years? 5 years? Titled. Has it changed, guys? Ego is at an all-time high. Arrogance is at an all-time high. Entitlement is at an all-time high. People got paid 120% of the money for 30% of the work. Damn right. Am I right? Yep. Okay, so when I got into this industry, you had to persuade, you had to sell, you had to build friendships, you had to build relationships. Dude, you had to actually be good at what you did. You had to be a pro. You didn't walk outside and just say, hey, if you don't want it, just go right over there and just talk to Johnny, and walk up to your manager and be like, God, man, these customers suck. Guys, this is the business that we're in. Listen, I had a manager that, stand up, Micah, he looked just like Micah. That's why I like Micah. He was an old guy, not that good looking, but like he had a lot of money. He had a lot of money, right?
His breath stunk.
His breath didn't stink, Evan. Don't
He
you talk
stunk.
about
He
Mike
breath
like that.
stunk.
Don't you talk about Mike like that. Something's wrong with your mic. By the way. You might
His
just
breath
need help.
stunk.
It's okay. We don't even need mics, okay? But
You don't
this
need
guy, what he did, and I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do today. But a guy like this changed my life because what he did was he kept me accountable.
Yep.
What's at an all-time low right now, guys?
Accountability.
Accountability. You know, everybody's walking around saying people don't like accountability. It doesn't matter what they like. Who owns the stores? Raise your hand if you run your store. Okay, so does it really matter? If Micah doesn't keep me accountable and I didn't get to become who I became in the car business, then I would have just broke every rule and not done anything. And I would have never been able to become this person. A guy like him believed in me. A guy like him held me accountable. A guy like him trained me every day. I became the #1 salesperson at Nissan for 8.5 years, not for 3 months. I kicked everybody's butt for a long time. Do you know why? Because training wasn't something we did. It was something we did every single day.
Yep.
Every single day. Why? Not just to go get more customers, to serve the ones that we truly have. You guys are building a big business, right? It's your family's business, right? If we don't take care of these customers, where do they go?
Another person's business.
To your competition, to Micah, to anybody. So today, what we're gonna train you on is how we then founded the #1 sales training organization in the car business. We train thousands of dealers. It's a 9-figure business. We started it 4 years ago. My brother and I were the first 2 salesmen for Andy Elliott, if you know him. And what we're really after, people talk about the take your shirt off shit. I know that people are like, oh, I don't want to take my shirt off, and I don't even know why that's going around. A reel went viral. Listen, we talk about physical health a lot. You know why? Because a lot of people we watch die next to us in the car business because nobody taught them physical health. Nobody taught them mental health. Your people have problems, yes or no?
Yes.
Do they have mental problems, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so if we're not training them to be better people and they're in front of our customers and they don't have really good energy and it's your brand, then what's more important than training our people?
Nothing.
What's more important than taking good care of our customers?
Nothing.
What's more important?
Nothing.
Marketing isn't more important. Your people are the most important thing. But you know what's the hardest thing? You know what's the hardest thing, guys? The people. It's the people. So we put systems and processes in place in order to help those people because we had somebody that helped us along the way. We know what it's like to suck in this business. Do you know why you lose people?
You sucked a lot more than I sucked. I was pretty good.
You definitely suck. But listen, do you know why you lose people? It's probably because they don't sell. They get in their heads and then they leave the business. They have one bad night and then they just want to go to another business. Man, if they could just see what we saw in the business and get to where we got or where you guys got, it would change everything. And we wouldn't have this car business stigma. So we're after a lot of things, but today we're gonna talk about training the trainer. We're gonna talk about how you can take some things home that truly impact your business. But some of you already know you're gone. You don't like my energy. You don't like what I'm doing here. It's cool, man. I know that most leaders and managers, they can't grow. They can't. You know why? They get it, they make the money, and then they just quit, man. They quit learning, they quit growing. And you know what? The craziest thing is, we can see it all over your face. What's your posture look like? Do you want to grow? Do you want to learn? You're like, oh yeah, no, I don't really want to learn. They know, man. These people nowadays, they want to work for somebody that's going to influence them, that is doing the same thing that they're telling other people to do. Not that's just running around cashing checks. So today we're after training the 1% trainers that want to go train the people that are going to take this to the community. Last thing I'm going to say before I turn it to my brother. They're taking your culture home into the communities. Am I right?
Yes.
So do we want to build great people that go into the communities and actually do great things and give back and are good people?
Yes.
Or are we just concerned with selling another car? That's some amateur shit. I'm after actually showing these people that they can be great, they can be well-rounded, that they can take care of their wife. How many times in the car business did they tell you to go home and be really good to your wives, your husbands? They didn't care about any of this stuff, man. They didn't care. How many people have been divorced in the car business?
Lots.
95% of them. Am I right?
Right.
What we're after is not just sales training. We're after personal development. And the only way through wealth is through self-education. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Good. Hey guys, can you give my brother a round of applause?
Why are you making them clap for me? Thank you, guys.
The reason I'm making you guys clap for him is because when somebody's going to pour into you and they're going to give you their all, you know that they're going to give you that much more if you show that you're a good student. You know, the most intelligent people in the room aren't the people with the highest IQ. They're the people in the room that can take something, learn something, and go implement it very quickly. But if you want us to give you your all, can you give us all you got? Yes or no? Yes. Can you give us all you got? Yes or no?
Let's go.
Okay, which we already kind of started, but before we usually start, I usually like to just say a prayer. So I'm going to pray over you guys. Is that okay with you guys? Some of you guys might be like, I'm just going to pray over you guys because I believe with our company, there's a lot of stuff happening that I could never explain. I could never explain the fact that me and my brother are here. We've had the craziest lives. I mean, there's probably people in this room that should probably be dead, right? Mm-hmm. How many of you guys should probably be dead? Raise your hand. Probably done some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be real. Some of us in the car business, we probably had some.
He raised both hands.
Or most of the time we didn't.
And a foot. I saw a foot.
Most of the time we didn't grow up like looking to become a car salesman. We kind of just stumbled into it, and something happened. To me, that's amazing. We're in the transportation space. There's so much opportunity, but there's so many things happening in our life that are amazing. I just want to pray over you guys, and I'm hoping that people get a breakthrough today. And somebody say breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
Okay, if you're looking for a breakthrough today, if you're looking to decide to make a decision to go be great, you can do it. Now, if you're looking to get offended today, will you get offended?
Totally.
Yeah, if you're looking for something, some knowledge, some inspiration that you can take back to your team, I guarantee you we'll give it to you. She just yawned, that's 10 push-ups.
No,
I'm watching you. Okay, I'm just kidding. We were at one of our seminars, that's the rule. But everybody bow your heads real quick. Well, I just say a prayer over you. God, thank you so much for this connections. Thank you so much for the relationships, the things that are going on in this room. I know that iron sharpens iron, and through you, anything is possible. I just pray that everybody in here who has a team and who has a leader can push people to become their best possible person inside of them. God, I just pray that every day we're looking for a breakthrough. We're looking for new knowledge. We're walking in your light, and we find different ways to impact the people in your kingdom. God, I pray that every day we become better people. We become sharper. I know that iron sharpens iron, and through you, anything is possible. We have so many beautiful resources in this room, and I just pray today that we just open our minds and we utilize them, and we come in with a growth mindset. God, I pray that everybody in this room who's going through something, whether that be health, whether that be spiritual, whether that be mental, have some different breakthroughs today. God, every day, I just would like for myself to get stronger, for my brother to get stronger, for my team to get stronger, and for us to continue to believe that people have the right potential and they have good hearts. God, I just pray that every single person in this room find at least one thing that will help elevate their business. In Jesus' name I say amen.
Amen. Good prayer, Evan. Give it up for him. Come on. Let's put a little God first.
My microphone's a little, can you guys hear my voice? Here, let me use your microphone. This one's a little bit beat up. Okay, so in order to build the best teams, I want you guys to write this down. If you're taking notes, what's written will be retained. So if you're coming for inspiration, you might get a little bit of that. But if you're actually looking for a bulletproof game plan that's going to grow your team, write this down. Do what others can't, so you can live like how others won't. Okay? There's some things that go on in dealerships that people don't do. People aren't training their people on how to hire. There's a lot of people that are looking for the right leaders. Right now, millennials will work for a mission. They will work for culture more than they will for the paycheck. Do you know what my brother and I hear the most when people call in? People call into our company and they're broke. They're on empty. They're just looking for the opportunity. Are we training our managers how to go out and find some of these people? Are we training our managers how to go out and look for people at gyms, at restaurants, some of the waiters that have served you guys in here? There's a lot of people in here. I guarantee you if you ask your managers, they'll say we don't have the right people. Do you guys hear that a lot? Mm-hmm. Okay, are we sitting with our managers and showing them how to be master recruiters? That's a sale. We have to sell our managers every day to go further, don't we?
Yep.
Are we selling them on exactly how to recruit, how to train? That's what we do. I want you guys to think about your top salesperson. Where'd you find him? How'd you onboard him? There's something that we call the tribal method training system, which is this. If I were to grab you and you were new on my team, here's an old school way of training. I'd say, hey, Carlos, this guy's gonna follow you. What if Carlos has a bad attitude? Mm-hmm. What if Carlos he's not hitting that day? Mm-hmm. This guy's gonna go learn all the bad habits from Carlos. This guy's gonna learn all the things that he doesn't do. He's gonna learn his follow-up from Carlos. He's gonna learn everything he does. If you don't have a system that you can accurately measure who's doing the training, who's not doing the training, and how much training they did, you're never gonna grow an elite sales team. So we've eliminated the tribal sales training where you're like, hey, we're gonna go just put you over here. The only way that people are gonna train is through repetition, accountability, and practice, which my brother is gonna go over. But if you're gonna grow the best team in the world, you guys are the trainers. We're not the trainers. With our training system, what we do is we build the training, and then you guys also film your own training so you can put it in the system. But we train on micro skills. Every single day, our meetings go like this. Stand up real quick. So every day, I get my sales team up. If you're not doing meetings at least 3 times a week with your sales team, write that down. 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mondays, it's all micro skills. It's like, hey, my name's Evan. Look me in the eye, okay? Is that your best handshake? Come on, there we go. That's a good handshake, okay? Are you training your team on the little things? Are you training your team how to talk? Are you training your team how to have good posture? Are they up? Are they awake? The micro skills of people walking up to people, they can tell. Can you guys tell right away if somebody cares? Can you guys tell right away if their eyes are on fire? Do we talk about this stuff to our team? The most important thing you could do is take everything that you know and transfer that in your team. What we see is a lack of leadership. There's a lack of leadership from the freaking president of the United States, no matter what you believe in. There's a lack of leadership from dealership level managers. There's a lack of leadership. How do we fix that? How do we fix that? Does anybody know? Anybody? Okay, I want you to think, what would we do?
Perfect practice makes perfect.
Exactly. We practice it, guys. We practice it. I want you to think right now, if you were to have the best year of your life, think about if you were to have the best year of your life. Trace back the steps. What would you have done? What would you have done differently with your team? What would you have done differently with your wife? What would you have done differently with your mindset? What would you have done differently with your body? What would you have done differently with your micro skills with your team? Okay? Here is a graph that just shows you how people learn. The problem is when people come into the dealership, we get them to learn. You can sit down, by the way. Problem is when we get people
He
into
follows directions though.
He does. He's coachable.
Tell him about giving him a password.
The problem is when we onboard people into the dealership, guys, the dealership has the lowest barrier of entry. Meaning a guy could come into the dealership and he doesn't have to pay to be there. We usually get him off Indeed. As long as he's got a pulse and a driver's license, we usually hire him. Am I right? Okay, this guy can make lawyer money. Can he make doctor money?
Yeah.
If he's one of the top 1% in the industry, what can this person make?
Tons of
money. A lot of money. The problem is we don't onboard them the correct way. We don't give them a password to our training system and say, hey, learn all these things. Learn these micro skills. By the way, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're gonna sit with you. We're gonna sit knee to knee and show you how to bump customers $100 on a payment ethically. We don't do any of that stuff. The problem in the car dealerships is not our people. It's us. It's you guys. The good thing about that is we're the problem, but we're also the solution. Ian and I have a sales team of 70 people. So we run a sales team currently in the Elliott Group, and our team, before they're even allowed to speak to a customer, before they even talk to a customer, they had to have been through the entire process. They're tested, they're quizzed, they have to understand the energy, the mindset, the way we take care of our customers. Does that impact our customer service scores? I know some of you guys are independents, but does that impact your customer service?
Yes.
Yes. Does it impact your Google reviews?
Yes.
Yes. So the problem is we need to start taking training seriously.
Now, I want you guys to think about this. So when a salesperson comes into us, have you guys ever had the salesperson that's like, hey, I want it. Hey, Micah, I swear to God, I'm gonna go out there and kill it. You guys ever heard of that guy? And then he doesn't do anything? And then you just wasted like what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 days? 2 weeks, 3 months? Okay, we give them a password to our training system and we say, hey, it's gonna be 2 days till we can get you through the process. We'll see you in 2 days, okay? You're gonna go through our new hire training. What if that guy comes back and I can see, because I have a tattletale report in my system and I can click it and I see that the guy's done 8 videos. Does that guy want it? Can you guys train anybody that doesn't want it? No. Can you train people that do want it? Yes. Okay, so if you have a system,
You give him a password, he goes home, and then if he comes back and he's done all the training, then he wants it. If not, if you hire that guy, it's gonna be your problem. It's gonna be I'm telling you what'll happen. We've done it with thousands of stores, all of the biggest stores in the nation. You know what they do? They hire and fire by it. On the second part, if this guy's not performing and he's not doing good, but he's training, what is that telling us? Because I can see what he's doing every day. What is that telling us? That he wants it, but something's not adding up. Maybe there's another chair for him in the dealership, maybe in operations or something like that. Or maybe we need to figure out what's going on with him. But if you don't have a system where you can tell, then you're just running around training him every day, hoping that he gets it, and then he never gets it, and then you think it's you, and really, it could be just his drive, okay? So we give you a training system, that our dealers that are on our platform, and then you're able to give them a new hire process that they should be able to walk in and meet a customer, shake a hand, sit a customer down. If they say they need to think about it, they know how to handle it. Okay, so that's part of that. But number two, the 4 pillars of training, if you're taking notes, is good content. If your sales team doesn't have good content, if they don't have practice, which they're not practicing in front of each other, they don't have repetition, then they're not gonna make it. And then the biggest piece of this, guys, is accountability. A lot of teams, a lot of stores, they don't have a process to scale the people. And you know what I think? I think a lot of these people want it, but you know what I think happens? They get lost, man. They get lost. They get lost in their own problems. They get lost in their mentality. They get lost in this guy's better than them. And then they don't know how to get from A to B. There's a gap where you're at and where you want to go, all of you. And the gap is a skill set. If we fill that skill set for that person, you're probably looking at a guy that is a top car hand. Dude, I assure you that the first play, I broke tons and tons of records. 60, 70 cars a month is what I was selling. Okay? The first day I showed up, and maybe the first couple of months, they had to spend time with me every single day to get me up to par. How many of you have to hold your sales team's hand every single day? How exhausting is that? In the times we're in, you can either do it that way, or you can build a system where you don't have to do it that way, and then you can check and make sure that they're doing the right thing, that they're growing. And our training system is fully customizable, so if you're in the training system, then you can quiz them on videos. Most of our stuff, I'll tell you guys, it's easy to build a salesperson. It's easy to teach them word tracks. You know what's the hardest thing to do? Teach them to beat their own personal problems.
Yep.
Raise your hand if you got some personal problems in this room. Come on, guys. Raise your hand if you got some personal problems. Oh, you guys are perfect. Oh, I didn't know I was in Mr. and Mrs. Perfect room, okay? All right. Do our people have problems, yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what if we help them beat those problems? Are they going to be better people?
Yep.
Are we here to serve people, or are we here to just sell cars? Mm-hmm. I'm here to serve people. I'm here to build people. I really believe that God gave me a business so I can help the people that are in my place to help them to become better people for other people. See, if you build people, then you're going to build the profits at a record rate. And some of you, trust me, I know you got really good people. And some of you, it's connecting with you right now that there's just another level of these people. Is there another level in all of us? Mm-hmm. How are you going to get there? You're only going to get there through good content, something coming in new, some new information coming into your brain, practice, repetition, and accountability.
Yep.
When they log into our training system, you know what they're going to see? They are going to see some passion. They're going to see some energy. They're going to see some fire. They're going to see people saying, believe in yourself. Check your shit at the door. Get your shit together. It's time to go give a great customer experience. They're not going to see a video where they log in and it's like, hey, I hope you do good today. It's going to say, dude, listen, it's time to put on a show. Do you want your customers being served, somebody pulling the doors open, butterflying the car? Do you guys still believe in that?
Yeah.
Do you guys still believe in like showing the customer around or just walking around like this? It's right over there. Oh, why don't you get the door? Guys, what's happened to the industry? What's happened to some of you? I'm serious. Man, my bosses, where I came from, they wanted to win so bad. I'm not really out to compete with people. Dude, I flat out put people out of business. I'm sorry, and it might not be nice, but you compete with me, I'm gonna flat out I'm coming to be the best, man. And I think that we need some people that wanna compete again, some stores that really wanna install some really good culture, because so many people are struggling out there, but they don't got to, if they're with the right people. So, my brother wants to ask you some questions, and I want you to really think about these questions as he asks you these questions, and really think about some of these things in your organization. You know, if we really just look inside of ourselves, we have a lot of those answers. And if we really don't have any ego in this conversation, so much can change in your business.
Yep.
So it's simple. Look up there and just think to yourself real quick. Number one, would all the employees perform each aspect of their job with a high degree of excellence and consistency? Write the word personal excellence down. It's something that's lost right now with what Ian's talking about. It's the way that we talk to people. It's the way that every single person shakes their hand. It's the way that everybody cares. It's the way that they look. It's the way that they talk. Every single person in our business should be striving for personal excellence. Everybody say personal excellence.
Personal excellence.
What does that mean? Should we be reminding them every day that they can get it all, that they can be good husbands, they can be good dads, that they can be good wives, that they should be good with their language? Yes. But does everybody talk like that? Does everybody walk like that? Number two, would you say the results are somewhat predictable because training and skills are consistent? A lot of the times we can't predict what our next month is going to be like because we can't trust our people or our managers or our teams because we're inconsistent with them. A lot of people in this room have made money and they forget what it feels like to be out on the front lines. That's just the truth. You forget what it feels like to spend 3-4 hours out there and get demoralized because somebody's telling you no, or you're reluctant to make a phone call because you don't know the script. You don't know how to get people in. We have to go back. It's time to stop being barstool warriors and telling everybody to go do stuff that we won't do ourselves. We as owners or general managers or executives have to get back out there and teach people this. Would each supervisor give a similar answer to each question or problem? So crazy. Go back real quick and ask your team some of these things, hit them with a problem and see what their answers are like. Is it consistent? Is everything the same across the business? Number 4, would each employee give a similar answer to each question or their problem? I guarantee you they wouldn't. Would you say that the client treatment is similar no matter what client deals with in your company or department? If you guys got a service department, do they run with the same type of energy as the sales department? Do we remind them that they're as important as the sales department? Do we sit with them? Do we do culture building activities? Do we work out with them? Do we set things up? Do we take them to the golf course? Do we get them to build? Do we bond? Culture isn't built inside of the store. It's built outside of the store. Are we doing this with our team? You guys all prayed one day to have a badass family, to have a badass team. Did you not?
Yep.
What happens when we get it? It's the biggest problem. We start to get comfortable. We get ungrateful. I would love for all of you to go back to those days where you were begging to be a team leader. You were begging to be a manager. You were begging to have your name on that store. How'd you act? How'd you walk? How'd you talk?
Psycho.
Were you one of the people that was a psycho competitor? That you were like, dude, when I get that team, when I get that girl, man, remember the day you guys first got your wife, you were calling her, you're like, baby, what's going on? You're like walking up the wall.
You're
like, damn.
I said that was the first date.
Well, that's how I was. By the way, if you guys don't believe I'm a closer, just follow me on Instagram. My wife is smoking.
Mine too.
Yeah, his is too.
Uh-huh.
But do you still talk like that?
She's a great
is it
person
still
too.
fresh
Even better
to
person.
you? Is it still new to you? You have to keep this chip. If you don't keep this edge, somebody else will come in and take your spot. Do you want people to take your spot? Ask yourself the question, would all my staff members know what is considered good performance or good attitude? They follow you. When Ian and I walk into a store, I can shake hands with the owner. I can actually take the owner out of it. I can walk up and get up by the customer, and I know almost exactly what their general manager's attitude is going to be like. I know exactly almost how they're going to look, because they usually look just like the general manager. If your shirt's untucked, you're not taking things seriously, your image is off. Normally, that's the same way the management staff is. It all comes from the top. What does our team look like? What do they sound like? Do they look like the leaders? All we need is more leaders. And by the way, salespeople, do they have to lead their clients? Yes or no? Do they have to lead their clients? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, we need more leaders, okay? It goes into the 3 pillars of leadership. So I want you to write this down. Number 1, self-leadership. Right now, we're sick of the hypocrites. The hypocrites right now in this industry are at an all-time high. What I mean is right now the millennials, they can smell a good leader from a bad one. They're watching social media all day long and they're looking for the influencer. They're looking for the impactor. They're watching all of these people. Are your sales teams or your sales managers, are they the influencer? Are they the person? I'm going to give you guys a little tip right now. And this is hard. This will be hard. I want you guys all to go back to your sales teams, call a sales meeting, and ask them on a little piece of paper to write down who their mentor is. Ask them. Write it down on a piece of paper. Ask your sales teams to do this. And then for real, go open up the pieces of paper and see if your name's on it. Or see if it's Andy Elliott or one of the Eric Thomas or somebody else that they're watching. And why isn't it you? Why? Is it because we're not spending enough time with them? Is it because we're not motivating them? Does the new generation of people need to be motivated?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, guys, they're not speeding to work 90 miles an hour, texting like me and my brother were like fired up to get to work every single day. I get it. But we have to be the influence. They're watching these little phones like it's TV now. We have to be the new age influencers. Our managers have to be that way. Self-leadership, okay? Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do I lead myself the way that I would want my team to lead themselves to? Just look, just ask, okay? Number 2, then you can go build other leaders. You're not qualified to build other leaders unless you're the leader. Do you guys feel me? Mm-hmm. Okay, so my winners in the room right now, you're probably thinking, I got some work to do. My losers in the room are pointing at other people. Well, you don't understand, Evan. You know, I got this thing's going on. I can't talk to my team. This guy's a dickhead. Dude, listen, stop. That's just complaints. I don't want to hear it. If you're going to build other leaders, it's going to take extreme accountability, extreme ownership. That's how you build a really killer sales team. I can say badass. But then you can go on to teaching other leaders. Andy got a hold of us when we were 25, 26 years old. We didn't have as much belief as we did now. We didn't necessarily have the best habits as we did now. A lot of salespeople, what do? They stay out late, they go drink, they do all these things. Maybe they don't know what's good. Maybe they haven't touched the stove as many times because most of us, we have to learn the hard way, right? Mm-hmm. It's like we touch it, it's like hot, burns us. We gotta touch it again till it burns us 3 or 4 times. But if we can teach our leadership team how to go build other leaders because they're inspired by us, now we've got an organization. And then when you're out on vacation, anybody want to make more money when they're on vacation? Mm-hmm. Anybody want to spend some good time with their family? Who signed up for a business for a little bit of freedom? Mm-hmm. Anybody? A little bit of money, a little bit of time, be able to do your own shit? How's it going now? Probably stressful. You don't have clarity. You feel like you're drowning underwater. You need more people. You don't need more money. All you need is more people. Everybody say more people.
More people.
Okay, it's not the how you're gonna get the more money or the how you're gonna get the more freedom. It's just the who.
The who, I like that. All right, so here's what I want to say. All right, who's in sales here? I know you're all in sales. You don't have to raise your hand, but who's a sales guy? Raise your hand. Sales guys, a couple sales guys, a couple sales guys, a couple sales guys. All right. Kinda? You guys kinda sales guys? What's kinda mean? What do these 2 guys do? Sales guys? All right, come over here real quick. Sales manager, that's perfect. Come on over here. Who's this other sales guy? Hey, you 2, come over here. 2, come on. Yeah, you 2.
Big Alan.
Give him a round of applause, guys.
Let's go, Al.
There's Alan. What's up, buddy? How you doing? All right, so we said good content, training, and accountability. We know those things are at an all-time low. We know we got some work to do. We know we got to build salespeople. But this is really how we build salespeople. I mean, we build them under pressure. We build them to understand word tracks so that they kind of know how to take the customer. Now, are you going to say something super scripted to a customer? No. But if you don't know what to say and you look stupid when you're saying it and your face goes like this, then they're going to know. Guys, if your state goes lower, salespeople, if your state goes lower, can they see it on your face?
Yes.
Okay, I went to go buy a couch the other day, and the couch, I come from the inner city. We got Rent-A-Center furniture. I still had that up until when I met my wife. She's like, what is this? Yeah. I'm like
2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, cool. We sleep on boxes.
You made 7 figures.
And she wants to go buy this couch. It's $20,000. And I'm like, that's a lot of money to me. I'm like, there's Sentras that I sold for that, okay? I pounded a couple people on Versas, okay? Those Versas were $20,000. I'm like, babe, it doesn't drive. She's like, you sit in the couch more than you do other. I'm like, I don't even sit in the couch, okay?
Oh, you're getting defensive, huh? Your little ego's flared up.
Accountability, ego flared up. I got a little pissed off.
But we're going into this store and I meet a sales prevention team. Anybody ever gone into a store and it's against your like religion to buy something from a bad salesperson?
Yep.
You guys ever been there? You're like, damn, dude, he just talked me out of this shit. Now I got to go drive across town, man. Damn. I walk into the store. I meet this guy. He's got a horrible meet and greet. I'm just going to tell you, his breath smelled like cigarettes, smelled like he'd been drinking the night before. You guys know, right? Shoot, some of us been there, right? They can tell. They can tell. They can tell. And I start talking to him. He's just, it's just horrible, man. It's just one of those experiences that you see everywhere in the world nowadays. And I got so frustrated. We were sold customers coming in. How many of these customers have done research for months?
All of them.
Weeks?
All of them.
You know?
100%.
All of them. It's not what it used to be. It's different. They just got to kind of not screw it up.
Yeah.
Okay? Kind of simple, but it still gets screwed up every day. How many opportunities, I want you guys to write this down real quick. How many opportunities do you get a day to sell a car?
5, 6.
How many
7.
opportunities? Otto, you guys are a big dealer. How many deals do you think in all of your stores combined you guys get a chance to sell every day? Phone, lot, COO, what do you think? Huh? He's looking at you, he's like, that's why I pay you, dog. How many we get? You know? Huh? In all stores? 20, 30? Okay. 50 leads a day between them all? Okay. How many deals do you think we close a day on average? 10 to 12? So there's probably 30 to 40 deals on the board out there that we could close, right? How many of them do we think we screw up? Probably a good amount of them, right? It's a good answer. We probably screw up a good amount of them. How much is the average per copy in your store? 3,200, not bad. Okay, so if you take 3,200 times 20, 30 car deals, how much is that? A lot of people think they can't pick up that money. They really do. They really do. But see, some of the greats, like the #1 Honda store you train, #1 Toyota store, they're like, that's my money. I'm getting that money. Like they reach out, they're already sold. If they reach out to your store, do they want to buy?
Yes.
They want to buy. They got an itch, and they're just waiting for us to scratch it. And then what happens?
I'll scratch it.
What happens? They're like, oh man, I just got to think about it. I got a lot going on. And then we just don't even know how to advance them forward. Okay, so let's say I'm out on the lot, and I just drove a 2018 Nissan Sentra, and I love this Sentra. It's more expensive than my couch. Oh, by the way, with my couch, I left that couch place. I went and got a U-Haul, and I had to drive 2 hours to Tucson. My wife yelled at me the whole time on the phone because she's like, you're an idiot. Just buy the damn couch, Ian. And I'm like, I came from a sales world. I coach furniture companies. I know how much they're making on this deal. She's like, it's not worth 4 hours of your time. I'm like, it's not, you're right. But it's my religion. I can't do it. That's how customers feel. How many people are in sales and they come in your stores? All of them.
Yes.
Dude, when you meet a good salesperson, are you sold when you meet that guy, dude?
Hell yeah.
Look at this guy. Stand up. Look at his smile, man. Yeah. He just looks like a guy I want to hang out with. Now, if he doesn't mess this up and I can buy from him, am I going to probably stick with him?
Yep.
How many people want to stick with the person that they buy?
Please.
But they're just not meeting that person with a frequency.
Please.
With the edge, that's having fun, that's excited, that knows their job better than anybody else. Should we know our jobs better than everybody else? Is it our lifestyle, not our job?
Yes.
Why are people treating it like a job? I treated this shit like it was my life. Every day. Well, there's a lot of reasons to that. But let's say I go on a test drive and I'm like, dude, here, listen. What's your name, Mike? Mike, dude, you got good hair, dude. I wish I had that hair. I'm losing mine.
Yeah,
they make
close.
fun of mine on the internet all the time. They're like, you're going bald, idiot. And I'm like, damn, I am going bald. You're right, hater. That is a good one. I'm going to go to Turkey and I'm like, dude, I'm going to go to Turkey and get some hair, but I wish I had yours, bro. All right, Mike, I say, man, I'm out on the lot. I drove the 2018 Nissan Sentra. I'm like, Mike, I got to think about it. What do you guys say?
Well, what are we thinking about?
I just got to think about it, man. I'm just not sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can I get your card?
Absolutely. I can get my card for you. Before I let you
You going to go get my card?
I'm going to go get my card for you.
You going to let me go, Mike?
No, before I let you go, I want to make sure you have all the information that you need to think about. So let me know, what was it that you loved about the car?
I loved it. I loved the way it drove. It kind of drove like I thought it was going to drive.
Awesome. What is holding you back?
Man, I just don't know, man. I just got to think about it, man.
I get it.
How many times do we get those customers, guys? Guys, how many times do we get them? Hey, Mike's doing a good job.
Yeah, he is.
You know?
Give him a round of applause.
Hey, Mike, how long have you been doing this?
About 7 years.
He's
All
trying.
right, Mike's been doing it for 7 years. Here's what I know about veterans. either experience can lead to conclusions and they don't want to grow and they're like, screw you. Or if you teach them some new verbiage and language, they're dangerous because they know that 90% of customers have been across the street and heard the Grant Cardone shit, right? They've all bought a car, right? 95% of them have heard the same thing. Wait, what do you got to think about? Why do you got to leave? You know, is it me? Is it the money? Is it the machine? Like they've heard that shit, right? Have they?
Yes.
95% of them have heard the same thing. Do you want to say the same thing to your customers, or do you want to say something different that's smooth, that's easy, that advances the sale forward? What's our goal right here with Mike? Our goal is just to go inside, right, Mike? We just want that salesperson to go right inside. Because what happens when they walk through the doors at Auto Connection, at y'all's deal? They buy, right? They get happy, they see the lights, dude. One of you guys come in, it's got a little bit more sauce and can close them. Yeah. But how many of you are chasing them out the door like, don't leave! That's 3,200. Don't leave. Where are you going? Dude, you're chasing them. Or you're like, or most of you, some of you, you're like, damn it, dude. Johnny burned another one. I ain't going. What are we getting for lunch today? Yeah. What are we getting for lunch today? I'm hungry, dog. I'm hungry. Dude, come on, man. Hey, it's super simple. If he can get everybody in a hitting position, what's our closing rate at that? It should be 80, 90%. It really should. Okay, Mike, hit me with that same, I got to think about it.
I got to think about it.
Hey, I'm going to say number one, man, of course you got to think about it. I haven't given you enough information not to think about it. What I like to do is just give you a quick 5-minute proposal of all the facts and figures. That way when you go home, you truly have something to think about. Would that be fair? Could I do that for you? Yes. And I'm just leaning in. All right, what did I say? Now listen, of course you need to think about it. I haven't given you enough information not to think about it. What I'd like to do is give you a quick 5-minute proposal of all the facts and figures. That way you can go home and truly have something to think about. Would that be fair? That's the word track. We're not going to say that. We're going to say, dude, listen, just think about the mentality. All he is saying he wants to think about it, and he's not a little sure. He sees those front doors. That's where he bought last time. We want to train the salesperson what to say so that they can, number one, internalize it. Number two, memorize it. Number three, customize it and make it their own so it doesn't sound scripted, right? So if I was going to actually close Mike and I wasn't just doing a word track with you, I'd say, Mike, listen, man, hey, I already knew you liked the car. I saw you driving it. Dude, you were loving it. Hair was blowing in the wind, man. And you were having a good time, man. Hey, but listen, if you went home, you wouldn't have enough information to think about it because you wouldn't know where we really stood on the car. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
So what I like to do is just give you a quick proposal. You can take it with you, and then in the end, it's complete your decision. Is that cool?
That's fair.
Okay, cool. Come with me, brother. I got you. Hey, Tommy. Mike's got to go here pretty quick, but will you help me out? Can I go get Tommy? Can I go do an early TO? Does Tommy want to get off the desk and come help me? You know, does the salesperson know how to go communicate that with the manager so that the manager wants to help him? Does the salesperson know the mentality of this guy's got a lot of shit going on, so when you walk up to him and bitch him out about all the other stuff that this guy's not even really going to do, does he know how to handle that? Do these two know how to communicate? Mostly they don't. Mostly I just piss him off, and then he's like, you know, if I come up to him, I'm like, bro, no customers ever leaving. I'm sitting everybody 100% of the time. And sometimes I'm going to need your help, but I'm going to communicate it really well with you, and my early TO is on point. Do you think we're going to close more deals?
Yes.
Did that piss him off by saying that word track? Did that keep the pressure out of the deal? Did that make him say, oh, yeah, man, that makes sense? Yeah. Can I get 100% of customers in the store with that?
Yes.
I am sure that I can get probably 95% of them in the door with that. Maybe 100, because I'm not asking him to do something and I'm telling him, hey, you can leave just as soon as I give you this so you can go home and make an intelligent decision for your family. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm not selling you nothing. Come on with me. It's super simple. So, but what do the salespeople do? They drop them every time. They don't even give you the chance. Okay, listen, man. How many of them, when they go home,
Alan, don't you look. Alan, look forward.
Alan, all right.
Taught you how to handle it.
Alan, let's just say, man, you know, I'm sitting down and I'm just a little nervous. Okay. And I'm like, hey, man, I just got to talk to my wife. You know, what do you got, Alan?
Hey, Ian, I definitely understand, brother. I like to pass things by my wife as well. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, it sounds like you guys have been looking for a car, right?
Yep.
And it sounds like this car meets all your wants, needs. Would it be a safe bet to say your wife would be proud of you if you made this decision for both of you today?
Probably, man. But my wife, dude, she probably. Good job, Alan.
I totally get that. Why don't we do this? Let me go ahead and get some numbers for you. Let's get her on the phone, get you guys both in agreement, and at the end of it, it's your guys' choice. Is that fair?
I love that, Alan. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Who trained you, Alan? Who trained you?
Alan, how often do you train with us?
Every day.
Every day. He knows what to say. Does that sound fun?
Alan, did you spend your own money on training?
I did.
Yeah? How much money did you spend on training with us?
$600, $650.
Okay, because you want to win. He's personally investing in himself because he wants to be great.
Good job,
Alan,
Alan.
do you want to be great for your family?
Yes, sir.
I can tell. he's going and finding something on the internet, because at the end of the day, it's not just about wanting to be great, it's also about not wanting to get embarrassed. And when you can't close something and you got to go tell somebody you can't close something,
Sucks.
and then they make you feel worse, what happens?
Sucks.
See, this is what used to happen in my dealership if you didn't know how to close. Get out of here, bro. And they just throw your shit and you're like, damn. And you didn't even get offended. You didn't even get mad. You're like, shit. And then you just went and got it, and then you tried to go figure it out.
Yep.
But nowadays, they just get all in their head. They get spun out, and then they leave and they go down to the Chevy store, and then you see them on the internet selling 30. And you're like, dang, dude, I screwed that one up. So a guy like Alan wants it. A guy like Alan wants to be great. Okay, so listen, I can hit him with some objections. I need to talk to my wife. That's a common one. How many different objections do we have to handle in our industry?
5.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we gotta. There's probably hundreds of them out there, but they probably say the same 10 or 15 things every day, right? And then if we know 30 or 40 objections, we can kind of intermingle them and we can kind of work them around. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But they're probably not saying, hey, the ice cream's melting in my car. I need to run and get my cat from the vet. I'm like, shit, I ain't heard that one yet.
I had one that was kind of like that.
Unless you're at a
dude.
Nissan store in the hood where we were at, then they kind of say different stuff, or they just pull a gun on you or something. And they're like, I'm leaving. And you're like, all right, cool. That's cool. Yeah, you can leave. You can leave. All right, but listen, man. All right, so your name is Brian? You a salesperson?
He's a partner.
Partner?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, good, man. Good. You're a Taurus, right? You're a good-looking dude, man. Give me a hug, dude. Get over here. Hey. All right, so let's just say, man, I just went on a test drive, and what was the objection? I forgot.
Got
I have a
3
few
more to look at.
How often are they outside and they're like, man, I got a couple more cars to go take a look at. I'll get right back with you, man.
Yep.
And then you never hear from them again. And that salesperson comes and tells you, they're like, dude, they're coming back. I swear to God, they only had 2 more to go take a look at. And you're like, shit. You're like, damn, man. Like, dude, you don't get it. They're not coming
Hey,
back.
remember
And
the
you're
guy?
like, I swear.
Remember the guy that used to on our dealership? He used to put the appointments and sold deals.
Yeah, we had a salesperson. I'd be like, bro, how do you got 26 out? It's the 3rd. And he's like, bro, I got 26 people coming back. I'm like, what, bro? You got 20? You know, and then the boss would be like, dude, you just don't get it, man. Just whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool, dude. And he's like, I hope it motivated some of you guys to sell more, whatever. So, all right, let's just say I'm out front. I drove that 2018 Nissan Altima. I loved it. And I'm like, man, you know, I just got 2 more to take a look at. I'll get right back with you, Brian.
I understand you got a few more to look at. I myself like to think about my options, things like that. Why don't we go inside? I'll give you all the facts and figures. That way you know exactly what you have to compare with these other vehicles, and I can show you why ours is better than anywhere else.
Not bad. I just want to go take a look at 2 more, and then I'll just get back with you. You got your card?
Yeah, follow me inside.
You want to do that? Okay, hey, not bad, not bad. Hey, does he want it?
Yes.
Hey, how often are you practicing with your team?
Every day.
Okay, are you practicing in a setting like this, like up against each other where you can see what they're doing?
Yeah, not in front of so many people, but
Okay, are you a little nervous?
yeah.
Do you know what the actual objection is? Have you studied that objection before?
I have, but I can't remember this exact one.
Okay, so you need to study it more.
Yes, sir.
That's okay. Hey, he's not doing a bad job. Does he have a good attitude?
Yes.
That's half the battle, right?
Yes.
He's got a good attitude, right?
Yes.
So the word track is, hey man, listen, I don't want to challenge them on the cars. I don't want to say, bro, listen, ours is better, here, I got a better price. I don't want to go down that road. Does anybody want to go down that price road and talk about the other cars?
No.
Okay, everybody say future expectations.
Future expectations.
I'm just gonna paint some future expectations that hasn't happened. I'm gonna say, hey Brian, hey, let's just say you went and looked at 2 of them, 5 of them, or 100 of them, and my 2018 Nissan Altima, the one that you drove, the one that you love, was the last one that you needed to take a look at. Look, in the end, what would be the deciding factor in the car that you'd end up purchasing? Look, would it be the car itself, regardless of the deal, or Brian, would it be the great deal that the dealership's willing to give you? Which one do you think it would be?
The deal.
The deal. So it's not a matter of if you're going to buy, but it's when you're going to buy, and when is when the deal's right, right?
Right.
Okay, can I save you some time and money real quick? Come on with me. Now, don't give it to me easy. Tell me it's the car. How many times do they say it's the car?
Go say
It's
it.
the car. It's the car. Dude, they don't. Most of the time they don't say the deal. Most of the time they say the car, right? Because they're trying to get out of here. Okay, say the car.
It's the car.
I only gave him 2 options. So he's thinking, oh, the car, the deal. He's like, oh, it's the car. He's thinking about this other one. I'm not like, did you like it? I'm like, bro, I know you liked it. I know that I lined you up on the right car because I was listening. Most salespeople are listening to respond intelligently instead of listening to make the customer feel heard. So they're just trying to spit out some shit and they're not really lining them up on the right car. If we teach him to line them up on the right car, he should be very confident in the car that he has. And then he can say, dude, so if you went down the street and those cars were $5,000, $10,000 more than you want to pay, you wouldn't buy those cars, right?
Right.
So it would come down to the great deal that the dealership's willing to give you at some point. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Could I show you where we stand on this car and then you can get out of here and go check those ones out? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Cool, come with me, man. I got you. And then I'm taking them inside. There's a lot of people right now that they're just vomiting of the mouth. They're not saying anything that moves the customer to make a better decision, right?
Right.
They're not real snipers. They're not real salespeople. They're just professional wingers, guys. And they're professional wingers on your customers. How much do you pay per customer to get a customer in your dealer? $250. Good. So $250 times those 30 deals that you're missing, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just because they don't know how to handle a couple of things. There's 3 entry points to the dealership. The gate, the store, like the gate, they come right in, the internet leads, and the phone. If I called all of your stores right now, would you be so impressed on how they handle a couple of objections? Don't tell me. I'll put it on the internet and I'll do it. Just kidding. You guys can have a seat. Give it up for them.
Finish up.
Give it up for them. Hey, they're great.
Last one.
Ooh, this one's a good one. Where's my finance managers in this building? Where they at?
No, they're hiding, bro. Finish them up, dude.
Come on, guys. You guys don't want to play with me? Come on. All right. Hey, is interest rate a big one?
Yes.
Is interest rate a big one right now, guys?
Yes.
Are interest rates higher than they've been in a while?
Yes.
Okay. Is that like some massive problem that we can't handle?
Nope.
Shoot, if you go to any other dealership, most likely it is. They're like, they get scared. The salespeople, see what happens is we have these peaks and now we got a little bit of a valley, right? And in this valley, salespeople are searching for confidence in something. And if they don't find confidence in you or the process or what they're saying, what happens? They get deflated, right? And then they just say, oh, this shit's not for me. So a lot of times when they say, hey man, number one, what I teach a salesperson to do is say, hey, listen, dude, you're not a salesperson when they ask this rate. You're a coach. You're gonna coach them through what's happened. So you're gonna grab the chair and you're gonna go right over here. What's your name, dude? You look amazing, by the way. Stand up real quick, dude. Just everybody give it up for how he looks. He just looks great.
Yeah, he looks
man.
good. He looks good.
Shit, man. You're so clean. You look so clean, you make me feel dirty.
Yeah.
Anybody ever told you that?
No.
Deion Sanders said that. I stole that from him, dude. I stole that from Deion Sanders. Okay, sit down. So if I'm with the customer real quick, and this is the last objection.
Hey, Ian, hit him with the bad credit little deal, because he looks like he has good credit.
Dude, yeah. Well, number one, if the customer has good credit and you walk in, Evan and I used to do this and it would piss the customers off, but honestly it would make them kind of like connect with you more in a weird way. We'd walk in, we'd be like, dude, what happened, man? What happened to your credit? And they go, what?
The 800 credit scores
Yeah,
like him.
and you're like, what happened? And then
You're gonna
you
need a
don't talk.
cosigner.
Bro, and he's like, what do you mean what happened? I'm like, bro, your credit's as high as God's credit score, man. Come on, man. And he's like, dude, you messing with me. I'm like, bro, we just gotta have fun. Can we be a little charismatic and have some fun with customers?
Yes.
Can we joke around with them and have a
Yes.
good time with them?
Yes.
Why do we gotta be so damn serious, man? Do people wanna buy in a good mood or a bad mood?
Good mood.
Yeah, but shit, some of y'all don't even look like you're in a good mood today. And we're at a golf course and look at these damn mountains out here, guys.
Yep.
Shit. Okay? So listen, if I was coaching a salesperson, I'd say, hey, you're gonna get knee to knee with him. Because if you're close to him, you say, hey man, can I just sit right next to you? I'm gonna go over these figures with you and the interest rate with you. Cool. I'm gonna scoot over and get really connected with him. Not like all up in his shit, but like right here where he can see me and he knows that I care. And he objects to the interest rate on the paper. I'm gonna say, listen, man, so there's nothing else stopping you right here. You're just saying the interest rate's a little higher than you'd wanna pay. Is that right? And then I'm gonna isolate the objection. And he's gonna say yes. And at that point, I have a commitment. You understand? I have a total commitment because he just told me everything is good, but he's bought a car at 3%. How many of you have bought a car at 2-3% 3, 4, 5 years ago? Probably a lot of you. And some of you may just not have good credit. Come get this guy, he'll co-sign for you. He looks like a good guy. He looks like he's co-signed for a couple people before.
I wouldn't have good credit if I co-signed for you.
That's probably true. That's what a good credit guy would say. I was testing him. Okay, I like this guy. So, but if I'm sitting with them, what I would say is, hey, so we're good on that. You're just saying the interest rate's a little high. Guys, can we put ourselves in the customer's shoes real quick? Say, put myself in the customer's shoes.
Put myself in the customer's shoes.
If the customer's decision, if the customer's interest isn't at the center of the decision and you don't give a shit about the interest rate objection, like truly don't care, then they're gonna notice that. Do you feel when somebody's souls connect and you can actually like feel what they're going through and like
Yep.
they actually feel like you're listening and
Yep.
you actually want to talk to them?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, dude, listen, I truly understand, man. When was the last time you bought a car? And he's gonna say 3-4 years ago. I'm like, what was the interest rate you got on that? And by the way, I should already know this right now. And he's gonna say, dude, I got it at 3.99, that's 7.9, I'm not paying that crap. And I'm gonna say, yep, I understand, man. See, unfortunately, the way that the market is, let me just walk you through something. If you would have bought this car 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, you probably would have paid $5,000 to $10,000 more. Am I right or am I right?
Right.
You probably would have paid more for the car, right? Okay, so the balance down here, that's gonna be one of the most important factors next to the interest rate. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, so the balance, you're actually buying the car at the lowest possible price. Your trade-in is at an all-time high. Our trade's still at a high.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so your trade's at a high, the vehicle's at an all-time low, so our balance that is the most important thing is at an all-time low. But unfortunately, because we have President Biden, the rates are high. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I might say that, but I wouldn't tell your salespeople to say that shit. Maybe I would. I'm just kidding. But I would say, hey, listen, because of what's happening in the, in the economy, the rates are a little bit high. I get that's frustrating, man. I get that you've built your credit for a long time. So I truly understand where you're coming from. That doesn't feel good. I know that. I bought a car a few months ago. I couldn't believe that the interest rates were this. I couldn't believe what's happened. But the facts are, we're fighting to get you the best possible interest rate. So no matter where you go, no matter what bank you were with, you are going to get that. Say date the rate, marry the payoff.
Date the rate, marry the payoff.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna date the rate, that's just like dating, and then you're gonna marry the payoff. The payoff is the most important thing. In 6 months, in a year, when Trump becomes president, then it'll go down. I'm just kidding, guys, I'm just kidding. All right, in 6 months, when the rates go down, in a year, you guys know that the rates go up and down like this. They do that all the time. This happened in 2008, it's the same thing. When rates come down, you can refinance this special amount, which is actually the most important thing, but you can't refinance it if it was 10 grand higher. So you're buying the car at the best possible time, it's just that the rate's a little bit high. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Listen, can we go ahead and do that and get the right car for you and your family? And then I'm gonna close him. But I'm gonna make him feel heard. I'm gonna make him understand. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
There's not a lot of salespeople that are sitting with that and that have radical empathy, that actually care, that actually wanna look him in the eye and know what they do. Dude, listen, you might not like the way I handle the objection, but I'm gonna handle it with full confidence, full transparency. I'm gonna talk to them like I believe in what I'm saying. Persuasion isn't just the words that you say. It's not these little cute ass word tracks. It's how you believe in what you're saying. Your salespeople don't know how to believe in what they're saying because they've never been taught what to say. Or they're just winging it, so they're like, damn it, he said the interest rate again. And then he goes back and gets Micah another interest rate one, and you're like, shit. And then you go in there, and then you could probably close it. But why not just teach him how to close it so trust and rapport and customer service stays at an all-time high? If I close the deal and I'm the salesperson, what happens to that deal? Do they come back? Does trust stay at an all-time high? Does rapport stay at an all-time high? Or does it tend to break a little bit when I got to bring Micah in?
Yep, breaks.
Tends to not as good, right? Or what does Micah do? We already know what he does. He lowers the price, lowers the rate, and all that shit. Just like this guy when he's going in on TO. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding with you.
You got it.
All right, so anyways, we got to teach them how to be master communicators. A master communicator makes it easy to say yes to, hard to say no to, and they make it the customer's idea with no friction and a lot of love.
Yep.
That's all I got to say. Evan, what else you got?
That's it, man.
So
100%.
this is what I want to challenge you guys today is, these areas, this resourcefulness area, that's how you're going to grow your company. We step in and we give them a platform that, some of the top companies in the world, Lithia, AutoNation, a lot of them have gone through and vetted. It is a lot of passion, it is a lot of energy, but it's all compliant, it's all really good. They can log into these things every day. We do train on a lot of mindset because we know when we can change the person. Teaching them word tracks and stuff is relatively easy, but if we can make them a better person, what happens to the company? They get better and they really truly change. So my brother and I made a special offer. Here's my phone number, you can text me. if you want to take us up on it, and we'll make your team killers. When Micah said that we're a mentor to them, listen, sometimes they don't want to tell Micah what they want to tell him. Like, sometimes if you're their dad, do they want to tell you that they're going through some little baby problem that we could probably correct? A lot of times, no. A lot of times they're embarrassed. You know what I'm really good at doing? Building trust and rapport with your team, so they'll call me at 11 o'clock at night when they want to go out drinking with their buddies, make dumb decisions, when they want to go do a bunch of dumb shit. You know who they sometimes won't call? Sometimes they don't want to call you because they're embarrassed. Sometimes when they got their ass kicked for 4 days because they couldn't close a customer, who are they going to call? They call my company. I got 70 coaches. They were all the top performers in their industry. They all really give a shit, and they all really want to help you guys. But if you don't provide the resources to grow your people, you're an idiot. I don't want you anyways. If you really care about your people and building people for the great communities, then let's be after the same things. Let's not just be after creating car deals. That's amateur stuff. Let's be after actually training people to be great people, great humans. Let's walk it. Let's talk it. Let's live it. Dude, I got 102-degree temperature. I'm just going to tell you. I've been doing this for 5 days. My wife thinks I'm going to die.
Don't hug him.
Listen, don't hug me. I probably got the vid. But what I'm going to tell you is, there needs to be a lot of people that want to go out there and give this to the team 24/7. We are the most relentless training company in the world. It's tested and proven. There's nobody who wants it more than we want it. When we give this passion to your team, dude, they are going to change. They're going to grow. And it's the noble thing to do, to give them things that will help them win and become good people. Isn't that what we're after?
Yes.
Okay, some of you might be after that, some of you not. But today I'm going to take the sign-up fees and $5,000 off training. If you want to do it, let me know. But more than anything, aside from the training, that's my phone number. You can text me. But more than anything, what I want to challenge you guys to do is go back to the beginning. Go back to being new. Go back to feeling that uncertainty flowing through your veins of not knowing what to do. And go back to who made you good. Who helped you be good? Listen, people don't want to work for managers anymore. They want to work for coaches. I have a kid, he's 6 years old. I have a 1-month-old and a 6-year-old. My 6-year-old was going to basketball tryouts, and I'm watching these two coaches. And this one coach is ultra committed. He's fired up. He's running around with the kids. I mean, you can see the clear difference of this team. And the team that my kid's getting ready to get on, this coach is not fired up. He doesn't care. You can see it all over his face. The kids look like they don't care. A good coach in your life can change your entire life. Am I right? Has anybody had a really good coach in their life that it changed everything for them? Has anybody had a really bad coach in their life that, didn't get the right potential out of them?
Right.
There's a lot of bad coaches in the world right now. We need good coaches to go out there and inspire the kids. You know what I did? I walked right over to that team and I said, hey, what do we got to do to get my son on this team? He said, we closed out trials. We closed out this. I said, well, I'll sponsor the whole team. I'll do whatever it takes. Like, what do I got to do to get my kid in front of you? He's like, shit, dude, yeah, we do need sponsors. I said, can he start now? He's like, yep. I said, come on, get your stuff. He's practicing in the other team's jersey. I said, you're going over here. Why? Because I know that guy can refine his potential. I know that guy, if he's with the wrong coach, it will lower his potential. It will lower who he could possibly be. My kid being around the right people is everything to me. The guys that are working for you guys, the women that are working for you guys, they're somebody's kid. They're somebody's kid. They're somebody that needs to be poured into. There's somebody that needs a good coach. They don't need a manager. People won't do shit for managers anymore. They'll just work and show up. They'll run through walls for coaches. Remember that coach that I said, who had a good coach? Would you damn near kill for that guy that showed you how to be what you are today? Would you do anything? Would you run through a wall for that guy if he called you right now and told you to leave here? Would you go do it? Yeah. Problem is we don't have that in a lot of companies. So we got all these losers running around out here in the world that are just tearing apart our communities because they're in our companies and we're not teaching them this culture to bring it home. So my number one goal is, yes, I would love some of you to text us. I would love to talk to you about what we do. But more than anything, usually I go a lot harder. Micah asked us to go easy because I really just try to go piss people off for a living. Because if you get pissed off, you'll typically do something about it. I don't really care if you sign up or not anyways. I really hope that you just go do some shit that's great in the world and do something for the people. So usually when somebody pries at you and pisses you off, you're like, damn, screw that guy, but I'm going to go do that. So that's usually my goal. But today, we try to bring a lot of love.
We try to bring a lot of care, and just go be great, man. These people need it. They're looking for people to believe in. They're looking for people who really, really, truly want to walk the talk. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Here, hold on. Jump up here. Jump up here.
Oh, Evan's making
right.
us sing.
Lastly.
Evan, this is a country club. We're not supposed to do this.
I don't care. Everybody stand up. Kind of walk towards the front. Come on. Come on.
Yep.
Come on.
In. Come
I know.
on in.
I know. Come
Let's make
on.
the country
Everybody
club.
get closer.
Come on.
Come on,
guys.
everybody.
Come on, man.
Be a
Hey.
part of the team.
Just
Don't be
come
too
on. Yeah,
cool.
guy in the, purple.
Don't
Yeah.
be too
With
cool.
that cool hair. He's got the coolest hair in the room. We need that up here, man.
All right. Is this the?
Hey, guy in the back, GAWC.
Yeah,
with the
get
good
your butt
smile,
up here.
dude.
Don't be the guy that just stands in the back. Come on.
There we go. Come on.
He looks
come
like he's
on.
worth all the
Even
money.
if you work here.
Take his butt down, Ian.
Even if you got the biggest wallet.
Yeah.
He definitely has a huge
he's
wallet.
worth all
You
the
can
money.
tell,
Look at that
man.
haircut he's got.
Yep, you can tell.
Okay.
You can
Listen, is it going to take some intensity to win?
Yeah.
Is it going to take being competitive to win?
Yeah.
Is it going to take some passion to win?
Yeah.
Can you not care what anybody thinks about you?
Yeah.
Okay, repeat after me. And don't look to your left and look to your right to see what other people are saying. I set the tone.
I set the tone.
I set the tone.
I set the tone.
I set the pace.
I set the pace.
I set the standard.
I set the standard.
All right, go back to your stores, set the pace, set the standard, and just, man, show these people what you really wanted out of the leader and bring everything, bring all the good stuff to them. Can you guys do that? Yes. All right, let's go.
Thank you guys. Thank you.